Subscribe for more.
I never imagined Christmas would be the night my marriage finally cracked, but that's exactly what happened. My name is Daniel Whitmore. I'm 42, born and raised in Ohio, the kind of man who believes in routines, responsibility, and keeping problems quiet. For 12 years, I was married to Lauren. On the surface, we looked solid. Nice house, steady jobs, holiday traditions that impressed neighbors. People said we were lucky. I believed them longer than I should have. Lauren loved Christmas. She loved the lights, the music, the photos posted online. I loved the calm parts, the evenings after the guests left, when it was just us and the tree glowing in the corner. That year, though, something felt off long before December arrived. She was distant, distracted, always on her phone. When I asked, she said it was work stress, end-of-year deadlines, nothing to worry about. I didn't push. I told myself marriage meant trusting first, questioning later. Christmas Eve came and went quietly. We hosted dinner for her sister and a couple of friends. Lauren was charming, laughing louder than usual, touching my arm when others were watching. I noticed it, but I didn't question it. I wanted to believe it meant we were okay. After everyone left, she stayed up scrolling on her phone while I cleaned the kitchen. She barely looked up when I said goodnight. Christmas Day was busy. We exchanged gifts in the morning. She smiled, thanked me, kissed my cheek. It felt rehearsed. I gave her a bracelet she'd hinted about months earlier. She gave me a sweater, still with the store crease. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself not to read into things. That night, we went to a small Christmas gathering at a friend's place. Nothing wild, just drinks, food, and conversation. Lauren stayed close to a guy named Marcus, someone from her office I'd met only once before. They talked a lot. I noticed, but I stayed quiet. I didn't want to be that husband, the insecure one. On the drive home, she was unusually upbeat, humming to the radio, tapping her fingers on the dashboard. When we got home, it was nearly midnight. Snow had started falling, soft and steady. I thought maybe this was our moment. The house was quiet, warm, familiar. I poured us each a glass of wine and suggested we sit by the tree. She rolled her eyes slightly, but followed me into the living room. We sat on opposite ends of the couch. I don't remember raising my voice. I don't remember accusing her. I just said, I miss us. I miss feeling like your husband. She laughed. Not a nervous laugh. Not an awkward one. A sharp, dismissive laugh that cut through the room. Then she said it, clear as anything. Daniel, don't be pathetic. Tonight of all nights. You couldn't satisfy me if you tried. The words landed heavier than any shout could have. I felt heat rush to my face, then cold. Before I could respond, she stood up, unlocked her phone, and shoved it toward me. On the screen was a message thread. Marcus. Explicit. Detailed. Not just flirting. Plans. Encounters. Dates circled. She didn't apologize. She smiled. At least he knows how to make me feel wanted. I sat there, holding her phone, staring at proof I hadn't even suspected. My hands didn't shake. My chest didn't explode. It was worse than that. Everything inside me went quiet. Christmas music was still playing softly from the speaker. The tree lights blinked on and off, steady and indifferent. She waited for a reaction. For anger. For tears. For begging. I gave her none of it. I handed the phone back, stood up, and said, "That's enough." She scoffed, told me I was overreacting, said it had been over for a while anyway. Maybe it had. I just hadn't been told. I walked to the bedroom, packed a small bag, and came back out. She was already texting, smiling at her screen. I paused at the door, hoping she might say something human. She didn't. I stepped outside into the cold, the snow crunching under my boots. The air burned my lungs, but it felt clean. I drove aimlessly for a while, then parked under a streetlight and just sat there. I thought about all the moments I'd ignored, all the silences I'd accepted. I thought about how humiliation hurts most when it's deliberate. She didn't just cheat. She wanted me to feel small. She chose Christmas because she knew it would last. I didn't go back that night, or the next. I spoke to a lawyer before I spoke to her again. The house, the photos, the traditions, all of it became paperwork and timelines. Friends asked what happened. I kept it simple. We were done. Now, when Christmas comes around, I don't feel anger anymore. I feel clarity, the kind that arrives too late but stays forever. Love doesn't die in explosions. Sometimes it dies in laughter that isn't meant to be kind, on a quiet night when you finally see who you're married to. I learned something important after that winter. Respect leaves before love does, and once it's gone, everything else follows. People talk about forgiveness, about fighting for marriage, but no one talks about dignity. No one teaches you how to walk away without yelling, without scenes, without trying to win someone back who already decided to lose you. Lauren reached out weeks later, angry that I'd told the truth calmly. She wanted chaos. I refused to give it. Healing didn't come quickly, but it came. I stopped explaining myself. I stopped carrying shame that wasn't mine. Christmas is quieter now, simpler, but it's real. And for the first time in years, the silence doesn't hurt. It reminds me that peace is better than pretending, and self-respect is the one gift no one gets to take away from you.